for the past 20 minutes, you'd say? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
There was a low buzzing, just so the listeners know. So, we're fairly warmed up. We're ready to go. We're revved up, I'd say. Lights, camera, action. It's about to go. Full speed ahead. Hi, my name is Katy Someillan. Welcome to the 19th ever episode of Young and Terrified. I'd like to say, no, wait, or 20th. I'm losing track. I'm losing track right now. But welcome. As always, I am your humble host, Katy Someillan, and today my guest is Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
How have your 24 hours been?
They have been a little bit stressful. It is senior year, so, college, and I still have to take my last SAT, so that's a part of my stress factor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, not a good time. But besides all of that, I've had some time to myself to, really just appreciate everything around me and stay grateful for everything that I have. So it's kind of overtaken that stress and, loosened me up.
That's, really wholesome. But, about, your SAT, I am so sorry. You're still, you still have one more to go?
Yeah, it's going to be my third one, and I'm trying really, really hard because I need all the scholarships I can get. Gotta make it through.
We need that college money right here.
Oh, yes.
Right here. So have you started your essays for college?
Well, okay, I'm going to keep it honest. I'm only applying to 2 schools, and they're local, so they don't even need essays, so I don't need to work on that. I did have to do a college essay for my English class, which was fun because I love to write and all of that, so that was a good experience, but I'm not even going to need it.
That feels like a waste.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel just in case, in your back pocket, because you never know with admissions, they're like, oh, we wanted that essay last minute. You're like, why? Why do you want this from me?
Yeah, and it's I can have it there for any time that I need it, and it was a good way to just get out of my head and start writing and learn more about myself through that.
Well, we're going to learn more about you right now.
Yes.
When we get there. Right now. I brought you on because you are vegan, if I'm correct.
You are correct.
And you talk a little bit about this on your YouTube channel, #plug. And I want to ask you a couple questions as someone who is definitely totally not vegan to someone who is. What is that experience of being vegan? How does that affect your daily life?
Well, it affects my daily life, of course, in my thought process. If there's something that I want to order at a restaurant or whatever, I just have to be cautious that it doesn't have any meat or dairy or anything like that. But that doesn't take up such a big part of my day. But just every day I think about why I'm vegan and how I can help other people see what I see, and not to completely transition somebody else, but to make them understand why I do what I do and how I can better their perspective through what I know.
So why do you do what you do? Why are you vegan? How did that start?
It started first because I had seen one of those animal slaughter videos online, which was really sad.
Oh, I've seen those. I can't watch them. I can't.
They're horrible. So that immediately made me go vegetarian. And about a year after that, a documentary came out called What the Health, and it's on Netflix. It's very good. And it talks about the health aspects of veganism, why meat, dairy, and eggs are bad for you. And it was truly an eye-opener. And I started doing more research after that, and so that convinced me to go fully vegan. And there's also environmental aspects to it because it causes a lot of greenhouse gas, 18% to be exact. Cowspiracy is a documentary on Netflix that you can also watch about that. And yeah, there's a lot of water waste that goes into it. I'm not sure the exact number, but there's a large number of gallons of water that go into 1 pound of beef. So there's many different things that come all together that made me want to go vegan. So those are just a few.
And not to counter your point, but I'm wondering if you're eating from a farm or something, or you're farms are going to need water in the same way that meat production will need. So what does meat production about water, at least, or at least the environmental impact of that? Why is that different from water for plants?
Well, when you're just giving the water to the plants, you only use that water solely to, nourish the plants. But with animals, you have to give water for the plants that they eat. Then you have to give them water to drink. And then you have to use water to clean up all that horrific mess of
no,
the process.
I don't want to think about it, but like I feel guilty sometimes. Maybe like because like I know like it's physically something I can't give up, and also just culturally and just doctors like don't. But like I've liked the thought of becoming vegan. Like instead of like drinking like cow's milk, like I've transitioned to drinking more like almond milk or like different types that are a little bit more sustainable. So, what are your vegan food favorites?
Okay, well, my top favorite, which was even before I was vegan, rice and beans. You already know, in a Hispanic household.
Those rice and beans, they get to my soul.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, my favorites haven't changed because even before I went vegan, I wasn't a very heavy meat eater. I would, of course, eat the occasional, like, a steak or chicken and stuff, but pasta, rice and beans, they're a go-to. They're a staple food, and they're cheap, so even if you're vegan or not vegan, it's easy to get it.
Yeah, and it's, like, not super expensive to become vegan, is it?
No. Honestly, some people have misconceptions because when you're transitioning, if it's hard for you to let go of the meat or the dairy or anything, then you would buy replacements. So there's brands like Gardein or Beyond Meat that make vegan meat replacements, and they're really delicious, and they really taste like meat, but they can be pricey, which is understandable because it's a very long process to get that texture and all, but that's really what would impact the money aspect of it. But if you're eating just the staple foods like vegetables in season, fruits in season, pasta, rice, beans, like that's really all you need.
Yeah, what is the best meat replacement though? I am wondering.
Gardein, for a fact, they have the best chicken nuggets. Oh,
Really?
I was obsessed with chicken nuggets when I was younger. Chicken is the only meat that I miss, but because of these awesome replacements, I don't even think about it. Like, I was so obsessed with chicken nuggets that for my 13th birthday, because I went vegetarian before I turned 14. My 13th birthday, my best friend got me 100 chicken nuggets from Wendy's.
No!
An entire 100. Yeah.
Oh, that's a god meal.
Yes.
Oh my god. So like, I mean, I guess you got all the chicken nuggets out of your system from that.
Yeah. And
Oh my god.
it was pretty crazy. And I can do that now with a lot of packets of Gardein chicken nuggets.
I really need to try these chicken nuggets.
I highly recommend them.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
like, what are they made out of?
Soy protein. Some brands, not Gardein, they use different kinds of vegetable proteins because it gives that easy texture to make it out of. And then they just add all the spices because, I mean, even with real meat, the taste truly comes from what you season it with. And, that underlying flavor of the chicken or the beef, but that's what makes it so easy to make a replacement because you have all the spices that come from plants.
Yeah, for real. Like, chicken, like, by itself is, like, kind of bland. So, like, yeah, just adding those spices, it makes sense. So, something else about being vegan. Have you had people in the past kind of challenge you about it or be like, oh, like, why are you vegan? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, I've plenty of people in my life. They always try to come at me in a rude way. And I understand if somebody's curious and they just ask me, oh, like, why are you vegan? Can you explain some more to me? And I'm so happy and open to talk about it. But if I'm talking to somebody who is putting it in a negative aspect, it just gets me angry because they don't know, like, what I'm about to explain to them. They're very judgmental. So it gets me a little angry, but I have to understand that this isn't something that people are raised from. Veganism right now is like, it's more trendy, I guess you could say, but,
Yeah.
Growing up, people didn't really know about it. I especially didn't know about it. So I understand why people would be skeptical of it.
I mean, it wasn't an option. Like, I'd say, like, I mean, maybe like 10, 20 years ago, that wasn't a thing you could do. Because, once again, like, at least, like, in our culture, like, meat is so ingrained into it. And just, like, people are almost, like, offended. Like, when you say, like, oh, like, it's like, oh, so you're denying your culture? It's like, no, I'm trying to eat well. So, Yeah, along the lines of that, you've gone to a couple like animal rights rallies. What was your experience of that?
It was one of the best days of my life, honestly. I only went to one animal rights march, and that was probably a month ago or a couple weeks. And it just made me so happy to see everybody here for the same cause. We were all marching for the same thing. And you really get to see that there are other vegans out there. Like, sometimes I'm surrounded just by, none of my friends are vegan, so I'm always surrounded by them, and we'll be having a meal, and they're all eating meat, and I'm just here with my little vegan dish, very happy with it. So you kind of forget sometimes that there are people who think like you, and they are going for the same cause that you are. So going there was just very, very nice to see everybody together for that same reason.
Yeah, so you're talking about like kind of eating out with friends. So eating out, how does that work for you?
It's not as hard as people perceive it to be. Of course, if you're going to a steakhouse, it's like, oh, well, I guess I gotta get fries and like a side salad. But honestly, that's a great meal, fries and a salad.
That
I don't know
actually
about you.
sounds, at least for me, like the fries sounds bellissimo. So good, so good.
Yeah. But there are always, especially now, there's always going to be vegetarian or vegan options. And if you're transitioning to vegan from vegetarian or just from eating meat, then it can be easier at restaurants if they don't have a completely vegan option. But, the customer is always first. So you can always ask the waiter, hi, can you take this out for me, replace it with something else? Because even though it is just a dietary choice, if somebody was allergic to milk or eggs, then, of course the restaurant has to say, we can't put it in your food. It would be dangerous for you.
Yeah. One thing that really irks me about how people deal with veganism, like even as like a non-vegan, I'm like, oh, no, please. Then they're like, oh, but you're not allergic to these things. Like, you can't just say no to something because you're allergic. Or like, also the idea that, oh, you need to be grateful about the food you get. Like, doesn't matter. And you need to be grateful. Like, no, some people have some dietary requirements, and some people would rather live their lives in a certain way and also be health conscious about that. Because of the internet, there is so much more information out there about being health conscious and being a health conscious teen. So what do you think about kind of having that label on you? Do you see yourself as that, or is it kind of just like, oh, it's just a thing I really don't think about? What is your take on that?
Well, I do see myself as a pretty healthy person. And at first, because teenagers don't really think about what they put in their body. We love junk food. I can admit I love junk food. Yeah. But because of veganism, not that veganism can always be healthy, because when I first went vegan, I ate lots of vegan snacks like Oreos and...
Yeah, Oreos are vegan?
Yeah,
like, why? Like, I love Oreos as much as the next guy, but dude, like, if that isn't dairy, I'm a little scared.
The beauty of chemicals, man.
Oh. What's your favorite vegan snack, though?
Okay, I don't want to sound like such a health guru or like a trendy teenager, but I gotta go with the avocado toast. Like, I'm sorry.
Yes! The avocado toast is where it's at. Oh my god.
Truly. Okay, we know avocado can be expensive, so that's why I just buy some chunky guacamole and I put that on a nice slice of toast, and it's just the perfect combo of something smooth and something crunchy. What else can you ask for?
That is my life. Okay, so like since school started, I'm like, I'm gonna be health conscious. I'm gonna be like one with my chakras, and like I've started eating like avocado toast in the morning, and I feel like, yes, wow, this is the good stuff. This really is a time.
It really is.
So yeah, oh my god. Okay, because actually I got the idea for making avocado toast in the morning from your videos, from you did this like kind of like day in, like week in your life or like something like that in which like you made them. Like, that looks real tasty.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was some food inspo from you that I like kind
Nice.
of implemented in my life, and I'm like, oh yes, good. Do you have any lifestyle inspo to give to the masses now?
Well, regarding like just keeping a healthy lifestyle, find a way to move your body, whether it's you just take walks every couple times in the day, or I don't know, find something you love to do. I love to dance, so that's what I do as a form of exercise, as well as like lifting weights and body training, which is something recent that I've been doing.
Wow. Okay, well, that's a load.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot sometimes. So I, of course, take a break from, dancing, and then I don't want to overwork myself. But yeah, just finding a way to move your body and go outside, really be with nature, take in the sun. It's so important for us to remember, like, there is more past technology, and there's more past just staying inside all day. You have to, experience the world before anything bad happens to it.
Well, last question on this subject. And this is one that I've asked on this podcast before. But I've also talked about this in a group of people. But none of them were vegan. But right now, I think is a perfect time to ask. And that is honey vegan?
No, it is not.
Okay.
There are some vegans that will eat honey. And, I've only heard of a couple of vegans that eat honey just because they love the taste. But it's not vegan because it, of course, comes from a bee. So I was a little confused about that at first. I was wondering, is honey vegan? Can I still eat it? But yeah, it comes from a bee. So that, of course, labels it as non-vegan. And even the process of honey isn't all too great because they chop off the wings of the bees.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not
No.
nice. And, okay, if you love, love, love honey, then I think it's okay to get it from a local farmer because even with store-bought honey, they add so many chemicals to it just to make it sweet. And I'm not sure the documentary, but there's a series that talks about food and all the chemicals that kind of go into it. And honey was one of the episodes. So the world is kind of running out of honey in a way. So they're filling bottles of honey, half honey and half preservatives and chemicals, just to give it that honey flavor without spending so much honey. So it is definitely much better to just buy it locally or not buy it at all.
Wow. Okay. Because I read online somewhere that not only is honey allowed for vegans to consume, but also it is a vegan's need. They have to because bees are apparently an invasive species to other animals. So it is your right and need as a vegan. I read that it was an actual thing I read. So I was super confused. It was a group of us and we were talking about this for an hour. We're what? And none of us were vegan, so we had no frame of reference. But that's really eye-opening. And agave for the win.
Yes. Oh, I love agave. It's
Agave is so good.
Yes. That can also go on toast. If we're talking about a dessert toast, have your avocado toast, and then for dessert, do a little peanut butter, banana slices, agave. Oh, the best meal.
So beyond taking care of your body, well, you also need to take care of your mind and your brain space through self-care. So what is your self-care regimen?
Well, okay, I've gotten very, very good at taking care of myself in the past year just because I've had so much stress on me junior year that I knew I needed to take some time to relax and not get so much into my head that it hurts me. So just knowing what makes you stressed out and trying to find a way to cope is a great way to start taking care of yourself because stress is the main thing that causes so many bad things to arise within us. And if you're not in a good headspace, then it's just going to make your life hard. And life is not something that has to be so difficult as everybody says. Of course, you're going to have hard times, but overall, you should be enjoying every day, every single moment, and being okay mentally will make everything just a blessing.
Yeah, and when you put in perspective, it's well, I mean, people have gone through this whole high school thing before. Doesn't mean that I can't. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just putting things into perspective, right?
Right.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you use anything for self-care? Do you use any physical products or do you do meditation? What's your deal?
I try to meditate as often as I can. It's hard. Oh, let's talk about meditation for a second, because
Yes, I would love to.
there are so many misconceptions with it. People think that you have to empty your mind of thoughts, and that is not at all what it is, because you can never be thoughtless. There's always going to be thoughts running through your brain, and it's really, meditation is just being aware of your surroundings. There are a lot of good guided meditations and meditation apps that can help you with that. So it'll take you through your body. Like, they tell you to breathe and count your breaths, then breathe normally, feel anything that's around your head, feel your arms touching your thighs or things like that. So it takes you through feeling your body and then your surroundings, like all your senses. What do you taste? What do you smell? What do you hear? And then that just helps ground you. So that's really what meditation is about.
What apps do you use for meditation?
At first, I used Headspace.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a very popular one, but after, I think, 10 meditations or something, you have to start paying to get more in depth.
Nope, not about that.
Yeah, we don't like to pay money for that.
Nope, no thanks.
Now I use an app called Breathe, and I like it better because you can log in how you feel physically. It gives you a scale of like really bad to really good, and then it gives you a scale for your mental feelings, so you can say if you're having a bad day, and you get to put in all the emotions that you're feeling, and if you're feeling angry, stressed, or even happy, then it gives you your own meditation that you can do.
May I make a recommendation to you?
Mm-hmm.
I recommend this to everybody listening. There's this app called Flipped, in which basically you put, like, I want to, like, have, like, alone time, or at least, like, just time in which I can just focus on either myself or a thing for a certain amount of time. So, like, it's, like, either, like, 5 or, like, 30 minutes or whatever, you know. And then it just kind of puts your phone on lockdown. So it kind of takes out, like, all social media and, like, everything that isn't calling and messaging. It's so good because I've, like, over these past 2 weeks, I've been experimenting with, like, meditation and becoming more focused because I'm all over the place at, like, all times. And it's such a sense of calm that it's like, I love social media, but sometimes I just don't want it there when I'm meditating and I'm doing my thing. So yeah, I think that's, like, also, like, a good, like, additive to the whole meditation thing. I've tried Breathe before. Like, I have tried it and it worked, but it didn't work for me. I like kind of having, like, repetition and, like, a daily, these are the 3 things I have to do every day to do it. I'm a little bit, like, strict like that. So what I do is, and I got it from this YouTuber named Dodie, who got it from someone else. Dodie's great. She does this thing called high-low kudos, in which she talks to, like, a high from her day, like a high point, and then, like, a low point, and then like, thank you to someone for, like, doing something. Like, it could be, like, something small or, like, something big. So, like, that's, like, another kind of meditation thing that I've learned.
And also, just another thing about social media, you know, we all use it, at least most of us, and it's something that can really take a toll on your day and affect how you're feeling in a negative aspect as well as positive, because you can just get addicted to scrolling through. And I know a lot of grown-ups especially say, oh, you're addicted to your phone and stuff. And us as teenagers, we like to deny that. Like, yeah, I love social media, but it's not taking over my life. But
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it can. So I haven't yet taken a social media cleanse, but I really want to because I know it's going to benefit me. And there's some things that I see online that just make me feel bad about myself. And I know I'm not supposed to.
Now, I'm in the middle of it. It's so hard. It is so incredibly difficult to do.
I can imagine.
Oh, my God. And, like, we're both, like, social media people. Like, you with your YouTube and I'm with this whole deal. It's very... It's deafening after a while, and you're like, nope, stop, bye-bye, no more. Like, I don't want any more. But yeah, so I think that's also a form of self-care. Another form of self-care, though, face masks. Do you do it?
I love face masks. Don't even get me started. Before I was vegan, I would use honey plus cinnamon as a face mask, and that's just, like, a super simple one if you want to keep. Lush, okay.
Oh,
They're expensive.
yes.
So I haven't gotten a face mask from them in probably a year and a half, but they really know how to give you a good product because I love things that are natural and, you know, there's not so many added chemicals to it. So Lush really gives you all of that. But honestly, a CVS face mask is pretty good.
Really?
I use them. I use them all the time.
Because right now, like, I had like 5 containers from Lush, so I came proudly into the store. Like, haha, look, I'm giving you so much money. Please give me a free face mask. So I have, don't look at me. But CVS face masks?
Listen, I'm not saying they're the healthiest form of face mask, but it can get the job done, especially if you don't live anywhere near a Lush or a skin store, beauty store like I do. I have CVS and I have Publix, and that's about it. I got some fast food around me, so I'm just like, I'm not going to put a taco from Taco Bell on my face. That's not self-care.
No, I think that's full self-care, actually.
Honestly, get that bean burrito, add some guacamole, and you have the best skin in the world.
It's refreshing, I swear. Yeah, no, if you try hard enough, it can be.
Truly.
But, yeah, CVS face masks. I kind of want, it might not be the healthiest, but I really want to try that because I see myself spending so much money on self-care because self-care in itself, it's an industry. Mm-hmm. It really is such an industry. And you're like, do I need to pay this much to feel radiant? I just want to feel radiant, my guy. Like,
yeah. And honestly, you can do all that skin self-care stuff from within your body with what you eat and, you know, how much water you drink. And I know everybody says, oh, just, like, drink water and your skin will be perfect.
But that's correct, though.
Yeah. And I know it's so hard for some people to start drinking a bunch of water, but it really helps because whether you have dry or oily skin, it will moisturize your skin and it helps so much. I don't want to sound like that typical skincare person, but water is the answer.
Water, yeah. You know, like, sometimes your body's like, please stop, no more LaCroix. And you're just like, because I love LaCroix, but, like, I know, like, it says, oh, nothing added. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, hint of lime, I don't think so. But sometimes your body's just like, just please give me water. And you're like, okay, you know. And then just having to stop myself from chewing ice because I know that's really bad, like, for your teeth. Like, I know it's bad, but just straight up water. So good. Mm-hmm. So throughout your day, where do you implement your self-care routine?
Well, I mean, just throughout my entire day, I try to make it as self-loving as possible. So I wake up early for school, of course. And I mean, the night before, I try to get as much sleep as I can with the schedule that I have. So that's one part of self-care. And then waking up and letting myself think positive things can make the day so good. And it is really hard for me to just think positive in the morning because I'm super groggy and I don't want to go to school. But it has to be done because I'm not going to have a good day if I don't think well. So I do that in the morning and then I just eat foods all day that keep me nourished. And once I get home from school, I meditate. I like to meditate when I'm home alone because then people won't be distracting me.
Yeah. I get that.
So I just wait for my brother to go to work. I meditate. I do everything that I need to do. I write down a to-do list because that keeps me so organized and it really helps with all your cluttered thoughts. And I just get what I need to do done and that helps me feel good about what I'm doing and how I'm taking care of myself.
We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after that. Hey guys, it's your humble host, Katy Someillan, back at you with some housekeeping for this week. It's going to be a quick one. Come on, ready, set, go. So, first place you can find this podcast on is iTunes. You know what you can do there? You can subscribe to the podcast. You can download a podcast if you're listening on the go. You know, even though it might be September, maybe you're going on a trip and you can listen to this on the road without internet. As well as that, you can rate the podcast and that really helps out. As well as that, you can go on YouTube, you can subscribe and like the podcast. You can find this podcast on Twitter at young_terrified. That is young_terrified, and Instagram at young and terrified. And you can find me on Snapchat at Katy Some. That is Katy, S-O-M-E. As well as that, we have Vanessa's YouTube channel. That link will be down in the description, as well as all of her other stuff and anywhere you can find her. So all these links are going to be down in the description, and we're going to get back to that episode right now. And we are back, thanks to me in the future for recording that message. But right now, Vanessa, I have a question for you. And that is, what is the fall mood?
The fall mood is definitely just Halloween.
It's time.
It is. Once fall starts, everybody knows it's Halloween time. Like, that is the best holiday anybody can ask for. And I know everybody's so excited for it because everybody's Twitter icons are changing to like spiders and, all that spooky stuff. Oh, spooky is going to be in our vocabulary for the next few months.
Yeah, no, I think I haven't said spooky in such a long time that my mouth is not used to saying spooky yet, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's happening. The skeletons are rising.
They are.
The skeletal army is happening. The night is getting darker. The moon's getting fuller. And be prepared. So, what's your favorite Halloween thing?
I wish I could say cold weather, but we live in Florida. There is no cold weather here. So I'm going to have to go with pumpkins. And I never carve pumpkins. I just buy them, intend to carve them, and kind of just let them sit in my kitchen for a while. But then I can cook it. So, classic vegan fall meal. And
we love a fall vegan.
We love a fall vegan. That's me. I was born for the fall. And even if I do carve it, I cook the pumpkin seeds because you can roast them and it's the most delicious thing ever. Along with squash seeds and all of that. Oh, so good.
I cannot relate because I always carve my pumpkins. Even if it comes out real bad, because it will come out real bad. But I carve my pumpkins because that Halloween money needs to go somewhere.
Yeah. Last year, I was so busy the month of October, so I bought a little pumpkin, and I was going to give it a cute little face and all of that, but I couldn't. There was no time. I had to just let it sit.
Here you go, little son. Little boy. Just sit here. Yeah. That is the fall mood. Well, Vanessa, thank you for coming on. It's been a real great time. It's been a full time.
It's been an amazing time.
Yeah. But to talk us out, where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 20 years? Go.
Definitely New York for at least 5 years. In the next 5 years, definitely want to move to New York. It's a plan. I'm already saving up for it. I want to go there after I get my bachelor's degree. I want to pursue acting so bad. And I want to pursue acting more in film. And I know people say, oh, LA is a place for that. But LA, I feel everybody is going for the same thing. Yeah. So New York is just more of a melting pot, and there's a lot of opportunities there. So it's just somewhere that I dream of going. And I definitely see myself there. Doing lots of theater, lots of acting, short films.
Yeah. What type of theater? So, would you do like musicals, or you'd be more of a play person as far as live action stuff?
Definitely more of a play person. I used to sing, but just singing lessons can be costly, and there isn't so much time for that in my life. So I just like to focus on acting more in plays rather than musical theater, as fun as it is. But just musical theater, I'm obsessed with it, as you know. Broadway, yeah. All the musicals ever.
Me too.
Yeah, I listen to the soundtracks all year. But for more film and stuff that I want to do, I'm okay with just doing plays and keeping it simple.
Yeah, and I've seen this trend with the movies today, just keeping things simple, at least for the independent stuff, just keeping it simple, and low budget stuff is really, it's popping. Stuff is actually being done, and not everything has to be super high concept to be able to make some sort of kind of wave in the film theater community. So I can see, yeah, how keeping it simple would work, and also just keeping it simple overall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vanessa, it's been really great having you on. It's been really great for all of you listening, and a big thanks to everyone who has ever listened to this show. To end us off, I hope you all have a really, really, really nice day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Something's processing in my head. There we go. The numbers are running.